If your sciatica keeps coming back no matter how many stretches, pills, or chiropractor visits you try, it's not because you're getting older. It's because you're missing one specific stretch that actually targets the root of sciatic nerve pain. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the one simple stretch that can finally relieve stubborn sciatica. Even if you're over 60, even if the pain shoots down your leg every morning, and even if nothing else has worked for you before. And most people are doing it completely wrong, which is exactly why their sciatica always comes back. I'm Ellis. A few years ago, I was dealing with sciatica that just would not go away. It would ease up for a week or two, then come roaring back, especially first thing in the morning or after sitting too long. I tried the typical stretches I found online, pain meds, even a few physical therapy sessions, and nothing seemed to keep it from returning. I honestly started thinking maybe this was just part of getting older. But then I learned what was actually causing the flare-ups. And once I fixed that with one specific stretch, the cycle finally stopped. That's when I realized most people aren't failing. They're just targeting the wrong thing. And that's exactly what I want to help you avoid today. Before we do anything today, I want you to think about the last time your sciatica flared up. Was it after sitting too long? Was it when you bent over to pick something up? Or did it just show up out of nowhere? That sharp electric pain shooting down one leg, the burning in your hip, the numbness creeping toward your foot. Now here's the frustrating part. It goes away, you stretch, you rest, maybe you ice it, and then weeks later, it's back. And every time it returns, it feels like proof that something is permanently wrong. But I'm going to tell you something that might completely change how you see your pain. Sciatica that keeps coming back is almost never random. It's a pattern, and patterns can be broken. Today, I'm going to show you why your sciatica keeps returning, the muscle that's actually responsible, the mistake most people make trying to fix it, and the one stretch that works, but only if you do it correctly. And please stay with me until the end, because the order of what we do matters more than the stretch itself. First, let's correct the biggest myth. Most people think my sciatic nerve is damaged, but here's the truth. Your sciatic nerve is rarely the problem. It's the victim. The sciatic nerve is the longest nerve in your body. It runs from your lower spine, through your hip, down the back of your leg, all the way to your foot. When it hurts, it's because something is pressing on it. Compression, not destruction. Compression can be reversed. Damage is much harder. And that's good news. The real culprit, and why nobody mentions it. There's a small muscle deep in your hip called the piriformis. You don't need to remember the name. Just remember this. It sits directly on top of your sciatic nerve. Imagine a garden hose. Now imagine stepping on that hose. Water doesn't flow properly. Pressure builds. That's exactly what happens when this muscle tightens. Now here's why it tightens. Too much sitting, weak glutes, poor posture, one-sided movement habits, old injuries that never fully healed. And here's the key. If you stretch everything except that muscle, the pressure stays and the pain comes back. Let me ask you something. Does your pain start deep in your buttock, shoot down only one leg, feel worse after sitting, improve briefly when you move, then return? If yes, you are likely dealing with compression, not degeneration. That distinction changes everything. Why stretching alone hasn't worked. Now let's talk about something important. Most people with sciatica do one thing. They stretch their hamstrings. They stretch their lower back. They stretch randomly, and they stretch hard. But here's what happens. If you stretch a muscle that is inflamed and guarding, it fights back. The nervous system tightens it again within hours. That's why relief feels temporary. because the muscle never felt safe enough to relax. So we need to do this in the correct order. There are 3 steps, and skipping the first 2 makes the third one fail. Step 1. Calm the muscle before you stretch. Before we stretch anything, we need to reduce guarding. You can do this seated. Sit in a sturdy chair. Place your painful leg over the opposite knee, like you're crossing your ankle. Now sit tall. Slowly lean forward. Stop as soon as you feel a stretch in the buttock. Not sharp pain. Not pulling down the leg. Just tension. Hold for 20 seconds. Now here's the most important part. Breathe slowly. Inhale through your nose. Exhale longer than your inhale. This tells the nervous system, you are safe. Muscles release when they feel safe. They tighten when they feel threatened. Do this 3 times. Not aggressively, not bouncing. Gentle persuasion works better than force. Step 2. Wake up the real problem. Now, here's something most people never hear. The piriformis often tightens because it's overworking. And it overworks because your glutes are weak. When your larger hip muscles don't do their job, the smaller stabilizing muscles compensate. And compensation leads to tightness. So before we stretch deeper, we activate the support system. Still seated, feet flat, squeeze your buttocks together. Hold for 5 seconds. Release. Slow and controlled. Do 10 of these. You should feel both sides working evenly. What this does is powerful. It reminds your brain, these are the muscles we use for stability, not the small muscle crushing the nerve. Now, the one stretch that ends the cycle. Now we stretch properly. Lie on your back, both knees bent, cross the painful leg over the opposite knee. Figure 4 position. Now reach behind the thigh of the bottom leg, not the shin. Pull the thigh gently toward your chest. You should feel a deep stretch in the buttock, not the lower back, not the hamstring. Deep hip. Hold for 30 seconds. Breathe slowly. Release. Repeat 2 to 3 times. Why this works, the simple science. When you calm the muscle first, then activate support, then stretch. You reduce guarding, increase blood flow, decrease nerve compression, retrain muscle recruitment patterns. You're not just stretching, you're reprogramming movement. That's why this version works when random stretching doesn't. The 20/20 rule that stops recurrence. Even if you do this stretch daily, if you sit for 2 to 3 hours straight afterward, the muscle tightens again. So here's a simple rule. Every 20 minutes of sitting, stand or move for 20 seconds. That's it. March in place. Shift weight side to side. Walk to the kitchen. Movement resets compression. Hidden triggers that keep it coming back. Let's talk about what secretly keeps sciatica recurring. Crossing your legs while sitting. Wallet in your back pocket. Sleeping always on the painful side. Standing with weight shifted to one hip. Overstretching aggressively. These small habits keep stepping on that nerve. You can stretch perfectly, but if daily posture keeps compressing, the cycle repeats. If you follow this exactly, within 7 days, less morning stiffness. Easier transitions from sitting to standing. Within 14 days, longer pain-free periods, less shooting pain. Improve balance. If nothing changes after 2 weeks, then it may not be muscular compression. But most recurring sciatica is important when to see a doctor. If you experience loss of bowel or bladder control, progressive leg weakness, severe trauma injury, numbness in the groin area, that's not muscle compression. That needs medical attention immediately. But those cases are rare. Most people watching this are dealing with chronic muscular compression, and that can be addressed. Your body is not betraying you. It is compensating. Compensation creates tension. Tension creates compression. Compression creates pain. Remove compression, the nerve calms down, and the cycle breaks. If this changed how you understand your pain, subscribe, because we're going to continue fixing the real causes, not just managing symptoms. Your body can recover more than you've been told, and now you know exactly how to start.